Alright, so if you're here because you want to know about expediting and whether or not expediting is for you, you need to watch this video. Now sit back, relax, and soak it in.
Your hustle gotta be strong in this industry, as in any other industry.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. Alright guys, so obviously this channel is about expediting, and the purpose of the channel is to share information to help those that are looking to get into the industry or are currently in the industry to, help them maybe learn a few things they might not have known. From my perspective, same thing. It's, there's things that can be helpful on my side as far as what you guys give, as far as when you interact in the comment section and things of that sort, and just generally getting myself involved with other people. So this isn't just a one-way street with this as well. Now, some people may watch this channel just simply for, out of boredom. Maybe it popped up because you didn't get to it in time and it started playing. Whatever the reason may be, you're here, and the subject matter of this video is expediting. And in this video, I kind of want to talk about some things that I believe are important. Basically, if you're interested in expediting, this is a video you need to watch first before you start taking any other steps. Okay, so you're still here with this video, so obviously you want to hear what I have to say on, looking into expediting. One of the first things you need to think about when you're looking to coming out here is, can you stand being away from home for a long period of time? It's going to vary depending on whether you're an owner-operator or driving for a fleet owner. So this is still directed at both positions, because either way it goes, you're going to spend time away from home if you are going to want to make any kind of money out here. That's and to be honest, that's the top, if not the second most heard reason as far as why people don't make it out here. They just didn't think about that enough, I guess, because I guess it's easy to overlook certain things if you've never been over the road, because you're so accustomed to working a 9-to-5 job or just a regular job in general, to where you're home daily. So you're not thinking about that part of it. You're just thinking about a job. You're kind of tunnel visioned at the moment as far as trying to find some employment. So you don't really give that any thought. It's kind of an afterthought. You don't realize that or really truly think about it until you've hit the road. That second or third night after the initial first couple of days, or maybe it even takes a week or so to have it sink in. You're excited about being out here, the freedom of the road. You're driving around, you're making a little money, you're feeling good. However quickly that comes, the realization that, man, I don't get to go sit in my favorite recliner, or I don't get to sleep in my bed with my wife or my girlfriend or my dog or my cat or whatever it may be. You're not really thinking about those things at first. So please think about that one long and hard. If you have a significant other, obviously that's something that needs to be discussed with that person. And I mean, to be honest, you need to have that conversation as far as letting them know, like, hey, this is what is going to entail by me being on the road. Maybe you are usually the one that takes care of, some of the repairs around the house, or taking, you've got kids, and you usually share the responsibilities of taking the kids places. You really need to have that conversation, like, hey, me being out there on the road, I'm sacrificing this as far as not being able to be here, but this is also the sacrifice you're going to make as far as the amount of time that you're going to have to put into doing some of these things that I did. You're going to be here alone. How well is your significant other going to feel about being home alone without you there? Maybe, you're their protector. There's just so many different things to think about, concerning that topic that a lot of people don't put enough time into. So that's the first thing. Think about the time away from home. Can you do it? The second thing is that while you're gone from home, the comforts of your home, you're now living in a van. Who knows what type of van you're going to be in? It could be a low-top cargo van. It could be a high-top Sprinter class van, whether it be a ProMaster, Transit, or Mercedes, Freightliner. But you're going to be living in a van. You're going to have smaller confines. And on top of that, you're also going to have to deal with the weather. As far as whether it's hot outside, whether it's cold outside, there's going to be a lot of temperatures you're going to deal with. It's not always perfect 72 and sunny and breezy. It's not always perfect conditions. So you need to think about how that's going to work out. And to get an idea of it, if you've never done this type of job, to get an idea of it, any of you that follow Courier Driving with Big D, he used to do the Expediting. Something he suggested is, go park at a Walmart parking lot or a truck stop and spend the weekend there. Which it is. It's a good idea. On top of that, at the bare minimum, you know what it's like when you've gotten into your car after, you've been at work all day and it's summertime. That heat. All that heat that's in there that's built up. Same thing with the cold. You go out there, coming out of your warm house, you go get in the cold car in the middle of winter, it's freezing. It takes you a minute to get acclimated to it, to get everything warmed up. Those are the two extreme conditions you're going to deal with in living in a van. These things are tin cans. If any of you have ever really paid attention, being in a shed or garage or any kind of dwelling that's not insulated, and especially that's made of metal, this metal radiates the temperatures. So you need to think about that. So at the bare minimum, go spend a day just hanging out in your car, wherever, in a parking lot somewhere, and don't idle the van. You don't get to do that. You can do it for about 20 minutes and then shut it off, because the fleet owner isn't going to want you idling it that much, unless it's absolutely necessary to keep you alive, or you really need to sleep or whatever. But normal circumstances, you don't want to be running that van, because that idling is horrible for a van. It's just horrible, and it's costing you gas as well. So you're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to deal with the conditions without idling and whatnot. So sit there, try to take a nap in your vehicle in those conditions with just the windows down, or imagine if you're in a neighborhood that's not so great and you need to get a nap. You're not going to have your windows all the way down. Obviously, you're going to have them cracked now. So in the summertime, it's going to make it even hotter. You can even go get yourself a little plug-in 12-volt fan and see how much that helps. And in the wintertime, get yourself a sleeping bag if you're going to try this experiment. But the point is, people don't think about that side of it. They don't think about what all's involved in being in a van on the road. They just simply think, again, you get tunnel vision. Most people that I've come across, when they think about expediting, when they're thinking about it, they think there's good money in it. Which, again, that's relative as far as whether it's good money or not. And they think it's an easy job because you're driving. Most people enjoy driving. Nice drive, that's cool, that's nice. But, your nice, comfortable drives that you're comparing this job to, thinking it's going to be like, those are drives that you can stop driving when you feel like it. Expediting, you don't quit driving, when you feel like it. You can stop and take a quick break if time allows, things like that. But, you've got to put in some serious miles. One of the things, to me, it's kind of funny that, before I came out here on the road on a regular basis, to think about a 100-mile drive, that would seem like a significant drive as far as, it's not just around the corner. Now, 100 miles is almost like going to the corner store at home. It's not very far. So those things change. But the point is, you're going to be living in these vehicles, and you need to understand what that means. You don't have a big, huge bed if that's what you're accustomed to, as far as comfort-wise, Now, granted, in these extreme temperatures, you've got the option to go inside a mall or a restaurant or wherever it may be. But you're going to have to get some sleep at some point throughout the day if you're trying to maximize your potential to earn out here, which I've touched on in previous videos. So at some point you're going to have to deal with sleeping in these vehicles in, circumstances and temperatures that you aren't accustomed to dealing with. There's a channel of a guy that got into expediting. Life of Chris, I think, is the name of the channel. And he's a perfect example of what he thought it was and what it really was once he got out here. Like, he did a ton of research. And that's the thing. Some people will get sidetracked on thinking they're researching by, I'm researching the carrier, I'm researching the rate, I'm researching the pay, I'm researching, the things I need on the road. But they didn't put enough time into researching themselves and how they are going to react or, deal with certain conditions and things that come along with this job / lifestyle. That's why we call it a lifestyle. But in his videos, he has several videos of when he's going through the research process and the waiting for orientation and things like that. Then he hits the road. He's on the road for 1 week, realizes, shit, this ain't my cozy home. This isn't as comfortable as I thought it would be. This isn't as easy as I thought it would be to just drive a van. His sleep was, messed up, which kind of transitions into the next thing that I wanted to talk about, is that if you have a rigid sleep habit, this is going to be a problem. If you're I got to go to bed at this time and I got to wake up at this time, in order for me to function that day, again, this job ain't going to work. Again, go back to his video. And to be honest, from my perspective, like, he ran steady. His loads were perfectly timed to where he never had to bust ass. The temperatures at that time were not bad at all. And it kicked his ass. Like, the normal Joe, and especially somebody that's accustomed to living to a certain comfort level, this is going to kick your ass. And I seen it in his face. Like, he put out these videos about coming out. Then he put out that he's going to orientation. Like, he was consistently putting out videos. Then it was like, you want a span of time without hearing from him, the week when he started. I would have thought, and the way I think his expectations were, to put out a video probably every other day or at least every couple of days. You didn't hear from him for like a week. And boy, when you seen his demeanor and the way he was, talking on camera, I knew it. I knew something was wrong. Like, you can just see it, man. Like, this road will beat your ass if you're just not that right type of person. That's not to say that if you can deal with being on the road, you're some badass and the people that can are pussies. I'm not even trying to make that comparison or trying to run with that narrative at all. I'm simply saying that it does take a certain type of person. And again, I highly suggest going and checking out his videos, and you'll get a decent idea. Maybe you can ask him, what would he have needed to have succeeded or continued doing this job? That's a good question. Maybe I'll find his videos and ask him myself. But anyhow, your sleep pattern is going to be very erratic. Like with yesterday's situation. I woke up or I shouldn't say yesterday, but going into yesterday, which was Tuesday. So Monday morning, I'm up at 4:30. I go make my delivery, deadhead to my next pickup, take that load, run it straight through. I arrive down in Laredo at roughly 1:30 Central. I've been up now, roughly 21 hours straight, and that was only on 3.5-4 hours sleep from the previous night. And then I had to deal with a lot of issues with my other van and driver, so I didn't get shit for sleep Monday night. Then I get up, I make my delivery Tuesday morning, go back to lay down, I get a call for a load. Bam, I'm gone. So last night I ran until about, I think it was like 1 o'clock Central, 1:30 Central. And I got myself about 5.5 hours straight sleep, which is good for me. That's a lot of sleep for me to do straight. So I'm definitely refreshed and feeling good. But your sleep patterns are just going to be all over the place. I mean, you may be on a run that you get your sleep first thing in the morning, late at night, during the day, during the middle of the night. Now, again, just to backtrack just the shade, yes, you can go out of service and get your sleep if you need sleep. Yes, you can do that. But again, I'm coming from the perspective of trying to maximize your time out here on the road. That's the perspective I'm coming from. I'm not coming from somebody that doesn't need to run, somebody that's got a supplemental income, somebody that's just not out here or needing to earn. Okay, so I'm just coming from the majority of these people's perspective when they come out here. Most people claim they got to make money. That's why they're out here. And so I'm coming from that perspective. So these are the things you need to look into and think about. So sleep is very important, obviously, in this job and in life in general. So you need to be honest with yourself. Think about times in your life that you had a bad couple of days sleep and how you felt. How did that affect you? Did that affect you in a negative way? Did you deal with it like it was no big deal until you caught up on sleep? So really think about that. So the next thing is, how are you with handling your finances? This is definitely number 1 or 2 on the list of why people fail out here. If you are not good at managing your finances, you will absolutely fail. Now, when I think about handling your finances, it's not that I think you have, $5,000 sitting to the side and you're coming out here with a nice little chunk of money to cushion any kind of fall, slow time, or whatever. Ideally, yes, you have money sitting to the side. Ideally, your money situation is good. But again, I'm speaking to those that are not, that basically don't have their shit together financially. That's because that's normally the type of person that's getting into this industry. Normally the person that's gotten into this, that's trying to get into this industry, has exhausted every avenue, and this is just the next job in line of jobs, and they're just trying to earn money, to earn a living, to pay their bills. So more than likely, most people are going to come out here flat broke, maybe $150 in the bank, honestly. but can you manage that? Can you juggle that financial situation, you know, week to week getting paid? Because to be honest, me personally, when I came out here to begin with, dude, I was flat ass broke. Like, I didn't have, you know, any kind of money sitting aside. Seriously, I had been out of work for about 2 months, 2.5 months at that point. You know, my wife, all she did is work at a pizza shop. We had shit. Didn't have nothing, no money, shit. Like, I honestly, you know, I was so broke that in the summertime, dead of summer, as hot as I was, I didn't even want to spend $25 on a fan, a 12-volt fan. I didn't, you know, I really roughed it out here for the first year out here, before I got my own van. And in doing so, during that time, like, with my bank account, you know, I basically learned how my bank account worked when I got gas in let's say a TA. I was doing TAs and Petros all the time. I knew that when I ran a transaction at a pump, I had basically like a 2-day grace period of, you know, managing with my money before anything hit. So I could count on that. And then also during the weekends, if I got gas on a Friday, I knew that things weren't going to transact and affect my account until Tuesday. So I was juggling, dude. I was juggling my money. And at that time, one of the things that made that possible, honestly, was because I was working with the carrier that I got paid after each load. So I was able to, you know, get that money and get that money back in there right away. I hate when people get right beside me and just hang in there. But yeah, I was definitely juggling it, and it, you know, it was difficult. It was really difficult. There was times I overdrew my account, you know, because I didn't get it run in time. I went through a lot of financial hardship during my first year, but I made it happen. I made it work overall when it was all said and done. Until I was able to get to a situation where I was making more money by being an owner-op and everything. But yeah, you at least have to have the ability to, you know how to make things work. You know, whether it's, you know, bubble gum and duct tape, you're putting it together. You know, so finances is definitely a high priority of what you need to be able to deal with out here on the road. You know, it's super easy to come out here and spend a ton of money easily and quickly. You run into a truck stop, you know, you're like, I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna grab a sandwich, something to drink, you know, a couple snacks to the road later, you know, and you come out of there with a $17, $18 bill, and all you got was a little freaking shitty sandwich, 12-ounce drink, a small bag of chips, and maybe a candy bar or something. You know, just because you're paying for convenience in the truck stops and gas stations and stuff. That's just, you know, the reality of the situation. You're paying for convenience. You know, and if you try to go and sit down at restaurants, you know, you're talking about $5 to $10 just between your drink and your tip. You know, that's not even the meal itself. So money can go quickly, like very quickly. Getting hotels, you know, you may think, oh, I'm going to get a hotel when I, you know, really need to rest and I want to get comfortable. Yeah, that's a big chunk of money to take out on a regular basis. Those motel bills can add up real quick as far as, you know, coming out of your account. So yeah, you got to be able to be good with your finances. Very important. These things to me that I've mentioned are some of the main things that you really need to focus on before you even start getting into the research of these things individually, as far as what van do I need, what equipment do I need, all of those other things. These things are the things you need to discuss, or, you know, with your spouse, or, you know, think about to yourself. You know, any of you guys that are out here on the road with me, that are already doing expediting, if there's something that I missed that you feel like is a big deal, something that people miss when they first come out here on the road that causes them problems when they first come out here, and I'm not talking about a gadget or a tool or something. I'm talking about that has to pertain to, living this lifestyle and performing, successfully at this job. If there's something I missed, please mention it, because, it's been a while since I first came out, so, it's hard for me to remember every little thing, but I think I've covered the most important things, in my opinion, and through my experience seeing people fail or people succeed at this job, the things that have been, consistent in each one. And, please put that in the comment section. As I said, I'd like to, again, I'm here to learn as well. Get some of the things, plus anybody watching these videos, this video in particular, they can go into the comment section and, see some of the suggestions from some of you guys that are out here doing this with me. I want to ask you guys that are looking to get into this, why is it that you are looking into this industry? Did you see that guy? Did you see that shit? Man, this stupid MFer. What a jack. That stuff right there, that's the stuff you got to be mindful of. Look at him. He got over into that lane, doesn't realize there's a truck pulled over there on that shoulder where there ain't a lot of room. Up, now he's realizing, oh shit, maybe I better pay attention. Let me get back over. Is he even gonna get over? Wow. Yeah, that's an asshole right there. Sorry for that. Sorry for that distraction. But anyhow, why is it you are looking into expediting? Is this just a last-ditch effort to find a job that you've exhausted every other job that's available in your city? Is this just another job in the line of jobs that you're applying for? What reason is it that you are looking into this? Is it just the money? You think there's a lot of money in this? Is it the lifestyle? Is it the travel? Is it that you think it's going to be easy? Please comment. Put it in the comment section. Let me know. I am definitely interested, to hear what you guys have to say. So, with that said, I believe I've covered just about what I want to cover in this one. I'll probably finish this video up and then think about something I wish I would have mentioned, and then it'll be like, shit. But it is what it is. I'm going to end this, and everybody out there, be safe, man.